are red.
In the 1994 World Cup, USA and Colombia were playing a game, and it was an important game for Colombia because they needed to win in order to advance to the next round. During the game, however, in the 34th minute, the Colombian defender named Andres Escobar, in the picture, he scored an own goal, a mistake which later cost him his life. The USA went on to score on another one, and Colombia were able to get one back in the last minute, but it was not enough, and they were eliminated from the World Cup. A few days after the game, Escobar went to the bar to enjoy his night, and he was approached by 3 men and shot and killed. The reason for this was because a bettor had lost a large amount of money. Today, I will be talking to you about why people should not be allowed to bet on sports. I'm credible to talk about this because I've done research on the topic, and I've watched some videos and I've read some articles. A reason to listen to me today is that I will make you smarter on the topic and the issue, and hopefully it'll change your opinion. First, I'll talk to you about the problems of betting in sports. Next, I'll talk to you about what causes these problems. After that, I'll talk to you about what solutions can be done to fix it. And finally, I'll talk to you about what the opposition thinks. Now that you know that I want to persuade you about getting rid of sports betting, let's first start with the problem. The problem is that it negatively impacts the bettor's life and overall well-being. Sports betting is financially risky, and there's a lack of skill and knowledge involved. People think that since you're betting on sports that they've been watching for their whole lives, they think that they have a better chance of winning, and it's not the case because these companies, they just want to make you lose your money, and the odds go against you. NCPG, which is the National Council on Problem Gambling, which is also the oldest foundation against gambling in the United States, they say on their website that people think sports gambling is more skill than luck, suggesting they're prone to distortions in thinking. The other problem is that it's emotionally damaging. It causes stress and anxiety when you bet, when you sports bet, because you're watching the game and you're just hoping to get that winning bet. And at the end, when you lose, it creates a disappointment and regret. And that's what causes people to have mental problems, and it also creates a roller coaster of emotion. And the third problem is that people who sports bet are prone to addiction. And at first, it seems like sports betting is not a big issue, in that maybe I'll do it once or twice, then it becomes every day, and then they get addicted at one point. And for some people, they use sports betting as an escape from reality. They think that betting on sports will be able to help them financially and will be able to become a sustainable source of income, but that's not the case. And sports betting, it uses your brain's reward system, and it increases dopamine, which is it gives you a false sense of happiness. Dr. Fong, who is a professor at UCLA, says recently in a study on sports betting in 2018, gambling, unlike any other addiction, is associated with cognitive distortions. People say, if I keep gambling, then eventually I'll win. You don't say that about alcohol, tobacco, or cocaine. So what he's trying to say is that when you bet in sports, people when they lose constantly, they have a feeling that they'll win the next one. And that's something that you don't get with drugs and alcohol. Now that you know about the problem, let's talk about what causes it. It's easy to start sports betting, and it's shown in ads where people can see. And one of the biggest causes is media influence. Nowadays, they have sports shows on TV where they discuss sporting odds, and it kind of they want you to start betting. And also on social media, for example, Instagram or TikTok, they have these content creators who also go over the odds, and they kind of want you to start betting and join. And there's an impact on vulnerable audiences, for example, youth, young people, or people with less money. And they start to target these people because they know that they're easily manipulated. And also, another quote from NCPG says, data from 2018 shows that more than 75% of students gamble, and this is a big issue because students should not be allowed to gamble. They're too young to be doing this. They should be focused on school and their future. And they make these sports betting companies make it seem better than it is. Another cause is that it has easy access. So nowadays you can easily download a sports betting app on your phone, and you can easily join with your email. And what this does, it makes it easy to play anytime and anywhere. And now with the new feature of in-play betting, you can now not only bet on the outcome of the game, but you can also bet on instances during the game, for example, player performances. And what this does is, on a quote from NCPG again, this shortens the lag between bet and reward, increasing the speed and frequency of gambling, which increases the risk of problematic behavior. And also, another cause is that the online payment makes it easier and quicker than in person, which also makes people want to bet even more. So now we have just learned about what causes this. Finally, here is where I want to go over what types of solutions can be done to change this. So my solution would be to just ban sports apps and betting websites entirely, or at least regulate them. And blocking phone apps and websites will be harder for new bettors to join, and it will kind of be viewed as a message to think before you bet. And also another solution would be to not show ads on social media, and this will kind of help with the issue with the young people who are joining, because less exposure means less people getting involved. And this also promotes responsible ads, which can also be used to solve other issues. Even with these solutions, there will always be some sorts of opposition. People say sports betting apps, or sports betting in general, helps financially and is entertaining, but the reward is never guaranteed. Sports are unexpected, and there's a lack of control involved because anything can happen during the game. And people also say it's a form of entertainment, but what it does, it just creates a roller coaster of emotion and creates possible mental health issues. Now that I've shown you what the opposition would think, let's recap everything I've spoken about today. Sports betting should not be allowed because of its effects on bettors. First, I talked to you about what the problems were. Next, I talked to you about what causes these problems. And after that, I talked about what solutions can be done to fix them. And finally, I talked about what the opposition thinks and how I would respond. Andres Escobar would have been 56 this year, and maybe if that sports bet was not made, he would still be alive, enjoying his life with his family. So next time you bet, think before you do it.